All right, man. What's your name and where you from?
My name's Robert. They call me the Kid. I'm from San Francisco, California.
Robert the Kid from San Francisco, man. Huh?
Yeah,
So
the Bay.
you told me. Oh, you got that name on the streets or in lockup?
Uh, well, I was called it as a kid because I was the youngest kid where I grew up, like just on the block. But I found myself around a lot older people, like all the time. So yeah, I got it. I got it on the streets. Yeah.
Okay, just followed you. All right, man. Well, you said you did some serious time in county. You did like prison time in county. You did about a little over a year, but over there in
Yeah.
California, you say that people over here too in the East Coast, you can. There's certain places where you can do prison time in jail or county.
Mm.
Uh,
It sucks, bro.
yeah, man. So
It's
tell
like
me,
a shoe program.
shoot. I know that's right, but still, prison, man. It's a different ball game
Dude,
all
I
in
wanted
itself.
to go. I wanted to go. I saw the video. Is jail better than prison? I was like, dude, I was one of those people that was ready to get the hell out of there.
Yeah, so was I,
And
man.
they set out because I was originally gonna be given sales enhancements because it wasn't my first one.
Oh, so
And
what'd you go to county for? What'd you get locked up for?
so I got locked up for sales of crack cocaine, sales of cocaine, and sales of hashish.
Hashish.
Yeah, some wax,
Okay, so you got locked up for selling some stuff, and that's non-violent. That's probably what kept you in county for so
Yeah, so
long.
like if I had a gun on me, it would have been I would have went to prison.
Yeah,
But because of the law here, it's if you have crack cocaine and a gun, you go to prison. So there's some like exceptions to going to the pen in California. Like if you got like 5 DUIs, you're gonna go to prison, or uh, there's certain weird shit like that they allow, or I mean that they send you to prison. It's crazy because I see people doing 7 years in county now.
damn, 7 years, man.
Yeah, so 7 years with half, so like three and a half.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
but picture this though, like jail. It's you basically in 3 or 4 rooms. Like you have your dorm, rec room, and then rec yard, and that's it. So I basically did all that time in like 3 rooms.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of like a fishbowl.
Yeah. Well, tell me this, man. You see, you had some pretty wild stories. You know how Cali rolls, man, with the whole
Yeah,
sticking with your own race and stuff like that.
it's amazing because man, like
But let me ask you
so
this first. Let me ask you this first. Before you went into county, okay?
yeah.
Uh, well, which county jail did you go to?
San Mateo County, which is the worst out of all the Bay. It worst as in they give them the most time.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about that area. Now check it out.
It sucks.
Before you went into county, before you ever experienced that lifestyle, were
hmm
you familiar with what to expect from getting locked up and joining with your clicking up with your own kind?
Uh, like kind of, but I was shocked by it. But I have a quick story about that. So like, I got to county. It was my first time in county, and I happened to be put in a tank with a couple Samoans, right? And I was the only white boy in there. There's a couple Northerners. I forget, maybe one or two blacks, and they I used to push weight basically with their people that we later found, a couple days in we were talking and we found that out. Dude gets on the phone and figures out who I am, and I ain't gonna be like think I'm hard or anything, but I kind of pushed a lot of weight at one point. So like they took me under their wing, right? They're considered others, but
The
I never
Samoan,
banged
Samoan.
other is like Asian, Polynesian, like mixed. Sometimes if you're like half of something and half white, you'll go with the others. And so that was my first time in county, and then the second time they weren't there, the same guys. So I had to ask permission basically, and like so that's almost like car hopping, which is like completely out. but I got blessed on both sides. I was a disciplinary action, so I did a lot of workout. Like I earned my spot in the car for sure. But I had to ask permission from these big dudes, man. At this time, I was probably like 180 pounds, like 20
Permission
more.
from who?
I had to. You basically have to ask the shot caller, "Can I? Is this okay?"
Okay, but what car are we talking about? So you were trying to jump car from the others to the whites?
Basically, but I was never an other. It's just that they protected me because, well, not protected, but they watched my back because of who I am on the street and who I affiliate with them. Because I was kind of in an indictment with them, and I didn't roll, so they know I'm like, I'm really with the shits. I hate
Yeah.
to swear, but like, I mean, I loyalty over dishonor all day. Paperwork's clean. I it's not even car hopping. Like if I never brought it up, nobody would have never known. Like that's how dead the issue is.
So when you first went in, no one no one in particular came at you to say, "Hey, you wrong with us," or what? I mean, like how did it initially start like that?
Uh it was like through the grapevine. Like some guy, no whites asked me. It was mostly other people. Like who do you rock with? And I was like, well, I rock with the people I know. That's what I said. I was like, if I know you, I rock with you because I knew them, and they were watching my back, not for bad reasons. You know what I mean? And like later, the guy, one of the brothers of who I didn't snitch on, came in and verified who I am. So I got a lot of respect that way. But the second time, they weren't there. There was a shady shot call at the time for the others. He didn't get it because the thing I didn't roll on about was some serious stuff that affected a lot of people. I was the only white boy involved, and they try to pick the white boy to snitch, and that wasn't gonna happen, right? So they all look at me and like they're just like, of course, kid, like that's just how it is.
Yeah.
It was only temporary. And one of them made a joke like he's growing up so fast, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like I came in a kid like my first time around. The second time was serious because that's when I did my 10 months in this jail. And originally the woods, I knew a
How'd
few.
you get about going to the woods?
So I knew a few from the streets that I used to sell dope to. They're all, I hate to say it, a lot of white boys, be strung out
Yeah.
and I knew a lot of them. I knew a couple of them like pretty well, but like they're so fat now that anyway, uh, they're like telling me, why don't you do this? Like I'm just wondering, you know what I mean? Because this, that, and they were starting to make sense and how they explained it was it's more of a brotherhood, man, than a gang. But we operate, I hate to say, like a gang.
Yeah.
We clean our car up just as much as the northerners, the southerners.
Okay, but see,
And
I'm trying to break it down for the people that
mhm,
don't know nothing about this stuff. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of one of those people. I know quite a bit, but not enough. Like let's
yeah,
say, okay, when you first went in, you were kind of sided with the others because you knew the people that were in there and they held you down and they had your back a little bit. Then I'm guessing maybe you jumped to a different block or area or something. I don't know. And
no,
it,
it I get out, and then when I come back a few months later,
okay, so
it's different people.
that whole first time you were with the others.
Uh, yeah, I guess.
Okay.
But all of this has been took way, way, way taken care of. Like
Yeah.
once we get to the end of the story, you're gonna be like, you came from nothing.
Okay. Okay.
Because I get to the top. I get to the tippy top at one point.
Okay. So you leave, you come back, and you're doing your little main stretch. How did
Yeah, yeah.
you get into the woods? How what was the initial thing? Say, hey, you know what?
I was going. I thought I was going to prison this time because it was because I got a violation, and I didn't want this PO. She was a terrible person. She said she wanted to send me to prison and all this stuff, and so she violates me over just a dirty P test, and people are telling me, dude, you should just do your time. You're just gonna come back. And I was like, yeah, yeah. And then some of my good friends that are white boys, they were trying to explain to me, and there was a really good dude, a real good dude that was really looking out for me, who had the keys at the time, who was calling shots, and he brought me to the side and was like, explain, man, if you go to prison, man, like the whites are gonna get on you. Like they weren't threatening me, they were letting me know, because I had nothing but the last time they didn't give me no issue because I was with some serious folks, and I was doing some serious shit when I was younger.
Yeah.
And the Woods knew who I was. Like I might be really young, but like, I've been around the block, but
Okay.
just not in jail. And so I I think about it, and I actually asked one of the others that is big dude, like still one of my best friends, or good friends, and I asked him what he thinks, and he's like, "Well, it's about time." You know what I mean? Like I'm one of the only few that are left, and I mean, if you go to prison, this, that, and third. So I talked to him, and I'm like, "What do I got to do? Is there any like I wanted to know if there was any racial stuff. I don't like that. I was personally the only white boy on my block. I don't like. I really don't like it, but I'll ignore it. You know what I mean? Because to me, it's just kind of ignorant. But the rules of politics is made of thousands of people's lives took those to make those rules, and he didn't even really want nothing. He just wanted my word that I'm with them. I was blessed, and I was later when I met more serious people. I did some workouts. I was running DPs. You know, what I mean, I really earned my spot. I was fighting. I was removing people. I was helping gamble off debts. I was doing I was on the front lines. I was in became a part of the council, kind of. There is no council, but there's probably like the top three, and I was
Okay.
one of those.
Before we get into
And,
that hierarchy and stuff, let me ask you: do you
yeah.
got any stories of you say you were running people out? What do you mean by that?
What do you mean?
You said you were they were getting you to fight
Oh,
someone to run them
I
out
was.
or something.
Yeah, like I'll remove them, which is
Remove them.
it's a white boy term. Well, I think it's every term, but we use that regularly. It's basically cleaning house. Like if maybe the shot caller wants to test your gangster, and he'll send me up against the white boy, and if you don't fight me, you got to leave. You know what I mean? Like we fight here. Like it's a hands-on policy. Like if anybody, you know what I mean? So I did stuff like that. I did take out a snitch one time. I actually earned my two. I don't know if you could say
Trade outs.
three.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 23 for white boy. You would had to have removed someone and went
I
to the
didn't know
hole for that.
23 meant still for white boy, man.
Yeah,
That's probably why
yeah,
so many
dude.
white guys like my channel.
Yeah, you definitely look like a wood, man.
Yeah, I've done told a bunch of people, man. I said, I'm not down with all the, Thor activity and stuff like
I
that and the
hate,
religious beliefs, but hey, you
once I
know,
explain it to you, I think you like how it was explained to me.
yeah,
It changed my entire perspective because right when I think white gang, I think racial. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, and I'm not with that, and that's what I really made clear.
No,
And
see,
the
I
guy who,
understand. I understand the basis behind this because over here in the East Coast,
mhm, yeah,
the white dudes they don't really stick together, and
yeah,
they're
I don't know, I don't get that
see what
because
I'm saying? They
that's what
do, but they're not huge. Like, let's say every white guy is gonna click up with every white guy. If that was the case, then there would be some different structure in the
it
blocks
would
in
be a
prison.
force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, it would be somewhat of a force. There would be a riot at hand if they all stuck together, but they don't. So I understand the brotherhood when it comes to,
It's
supporting
like
your own kind.
we take care of our own.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand that 100%.
Yeah,
Religious aspect, not so much. I wouldn't roll with it, but
yeah,
to make
yeah.
sure
For me,
that you're
no.
not getting taken advantage of by another
Mm-mm.
higher dominant race when it comes to numbers or whatever the case is, then I understand that. I understand that.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's kind of like one of those things that just was done because that typical thinking of a white boy getting his stuff took, that's out. I haven't seen under my roof. I haven't seen one white boy get their stuff took.
yeah, yeah. See, now I
And then
saw
there's
that every damn day, bro.
yeah, like I would, if I was there, I would have been the one trying to get the whites
There was a few that
exactly. And
tried. There
then
was a few that tried. You would have some guys come in and they would be rocking, a few guys
yeah,
rocking a huge swastika on their chest or their back, and they'll survive for a couple weeks.
I'm not with the swastika
Yeah, I
thing.
know. I'm just saying. You
I
would see.
understand the meaning behind it.
Yeah,
It is a like a badge.
yeah. I mean, I'm just saying. Like those dudes would come in with the white power level and try to gain the other
Uh,
whites around them, and it just didn't fly too long at all. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
it's because the other one's just been there too long. Like I'm scared to leave Cali
Yeah,
because of that. Like I ain't with that.
yeah. The structure,
You know?
man. It's so crazy. That's why you see white dudes over here, becoming a part of like GDs or folks or trying to become a Crip or
Yeah,
Blood because
that
that's they want. I've made videos on it. I'll let you. I'm sure
yeah,
you
I
watched
saw.
them, but I'm not gonna get into that. But let's talk more about you, man. So let me ask you this: let's say when they put you against people to fight and you
Yeah,
fought, okay? Would they ever put you on against someone that is just okay? They're just gonna punish you.
yeah. I'm no, not. I mean, they put you in positions like that to feel like that, and then once it's done you understand why. It's kind of like it's just it's an interesting, like, it all depends who's running the house, man, because I've seen bad people that have done a lot of time and not done it well, and then the guy who brought me in, he really broke it down to the real meaning of being a wood, to me, that he kind of installed that into me. But to be honest with you, I know, like, eh, I knew a lot of the blacks. I knew a lot of the Polynesians. I knew a lot of the Pisces. I grew up with Northerners, and I sell dope with Southsiders. So I get the white boy joining another gang. I do get that. If there's a riot, bro, I'm coming at you first. Like, you're considered a traitor, like in California, if you don't rock with your people. Like,
Yeah. And I understand that. Now, let's say they're testing your combative skills against someone else with your own kind
hmm
and whatever, and you happen to get beat down real good. Do they still respect that you went in 100%?
yeah, because if you say no, that means, well, if if you're not willing to, that kind of puts you at, like, oh, okay, all right. Like, I went in there every time. I mean, I fought a few dudes. I never fought a white boy and lost, though. But I don't even got hands like that. It's just I'm from Frisco, and I guess in San Mateo they don't. Like, I ain't trying to hate because
Yeah.
East Palo Alto runs that jail. Shout out to them. They're the real ones out there. And sometimes we do get Frisco cats over there, but it's mostly the brothers, and the brothers be causing hella problems with the East Palo Alto. That's when the brothers start separate, going into their neighborhood sides and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
We don't
yeah.
have that. Like, we're 5-day workout times, and I can't. I've lost fights in jail, but I haven't lost any to political reasons.
Okay. Okay.
Like, I
Yeah.
haven't done anything I couldn't uh, accomplish, or it's not like rocket science stuff. They're not like asking you to do crazy stuff. There's just like, they're basically know that you can do it, and they're just trying to put the stripes on your back to raise you up. Because every day you get new people, and at one point I was the one checking paperwork. I was the greeter. That's the first thing. Then I started checking paperwork, and then you know, this, that, and then it just got up to, more. But I don't know when you want to get into that.
Yeah. I'm just letting you rock with it, man. I already got pretty much all my what I wanted to get the understanding on it, how people initiate into the process.
To become a wood,
No,
initiate.
you already pretty much explained it. I mean, do they just will they go after any old white dude?
So okay, this is what happens. So there's basically two kinds of woods in county. There are just the woods that rock with the whites because they're either a little older or not. They just need an umbrella. We're the umbrella. I'm the one who's getting stuff done. Like, so I'm active. I'm an active white boy to this day. Like right now, you know what I mean? And I get shit done. I'm the one who's collecting. Well, not me personally, but I'm the one. We're the ones making calls. There'll be a few of us, and like being really young and being put in these positions. Like, I I made it feel like it was a business for a while, and like because I really know am good at one thing, and that's selling dope. And so I compared it to that, and I hate to say it, I was really good at it. Man. I got stuff done. Like, uh, I had people that have done 15, 20 years tell me that they would rather have me have the keys than them. And in jail, you can't have the keys unless you have been to prison, right? Or hit the yard at least, right? And but I was doing a prison term, and my band went from yellow, which means you haven't been to prison, to red. And there was a lot of other people doing prison time, but their bands weren't red, right? So I started thinking, and it's because I'm active. I think they never told me, but it's pretty obvious. Like at one point, I got into it with the guard, called him the B word and everything. Like I got at him hella bad because he wouldn't change new tanks. Something just dumb, right? And then I get sent to the hole, which is like nothing. Like to me, I like to be by myself anyway. I read like crazy,
So you went to
and
the hole after you called the CO that?
yeah,
Okay.
and basically right when they saw that it was me, they just were like, Rob, kid, like what's what I mean? Like call me by my alien, kid. Like I've been there so long and know all the depths that it's like at that one jail that it's kind of crazy. Like so I one of them I had the juice card, which I had juice with the COs. I tried to make it look bad, whatever, right? I got a job at being an intake pod worker, right? But at the new jail. So the old jail in intake, there's like two buildings. There's basically the max, and then there's the uh like program pods, which is like 8-man tanks. And I was going to be the intake pod worker at the new jail. So I was like, "Oh, that's dope! I could see every single person that's going to be in this building has to come here first, then get shipped out." I was like, "I dig that." Okay, I was like, "It's just going to be me," and so I was basically directing traffic. It was the best job, dude. Like the only thing is, it was cell living, and if you weren't working, you had 22-hour lockdown, which I was always working. So
Yeah.
if you were my cellie, you just made it, man. You just got the best
Cellmate.
deal possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are like juiced, like if
Yeah.
I asked you to be my cellie.
You
And
know, it sounds like with all the politics and stuff, it sounds like that stuff really kills time, though.
it does, man. Like to be honest, so when I got sentenced, I was angry, bro. I was really mad. Like in the middle of it, this sentence, I guess the term was my girl left me, and I was with her for like 7, 8 years. You know what I mean? So
Damn.
that's a good thing. The walls can do that, bro.
Yeah.
Like so.
I talk
Man,
about it
I
all
was
the
like
time,
down to
man.
do it. I was down to do whatever, bro. Like
Heartbroken, ready to strap
yeah,
up.
like I don't give an F, bro. Like that's
Yeah.
just me being completely honest. Like I, it's it was some crazy, but about that. But the tempers were rising, and like I was just taking advantage of the situation. I was like, I'm gonna make something of myself. I was like, I'm gonna show her. I'm gonna do something here. Like I'm gonna put my footprint in this jail. And like just thinking crazy. I was like, I'm gonna make it to the top, bro. Like, just to say I did that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna really do
So
that. Like,
this, so her leaving you really amplified you wanting to become a part of this, of the
yeah, like I was
hierarchy.
already with it, but I was really getting in it when after that.
Yeah.
If you see this, that's because of you.
Yeah. It's probably, when someone loses a girl like that, man. I mean, all that shit goes out the window, man. You really start focusing on lockup. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nothing. There's basically nothing left for me except I have really good parents. Uh, my mom's kind of like always been there when it comes to my jail stuff, so that's good. And when I did all my time, I happened to have, I knew a lot of females, and I was getting them to give me money, and so money, none of that, letters, shower shots, all that stuff was all good. I had all that. Once you have money on your books, you're good.
Them good old shower shots.
Just all I had to do was pretend I liked these girls, you know what I mean? They sent me money.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so I was good on all that. And I was like, I don't care. Like, the only person I had, I was like, I only got my mom and dad right now. Like, I'm going to just ride out. And man, I went to the whole bunch of times, like, during that time. And, like, I was coming back every 2 or 3 months, bro, like, on violations, dirties, possessions, like.
Let me ask you this, man. Let me ask you this, and I ask this to everyone, man, that's been locked up. If you could say, and take your time, if it takes you a little second, but if you were to say the craziest thing you've seen in lock up, man,
all right,
what would it be, bro?
I got one off the dome.
Right? That's what I like. Those are the good ones.
This one's really good. This is like some TV stuff. So like, I was in San Francisco County Jail, and I just got picked up for armed robbery. That they didn't find the gun. I knew I was gonna be, you know what I mean, like whatever. I was sitting, so intake is slow, bro. So by this time, I've been in the one room with like a bunch of people for intake for like maybe 2.5 days at this point, right? Like it's bad. Like everything hurts from the metal, all that. And I look over to my right. I remember this crystal clear. This, I don't know if I don't know if it was a girl or a guy. She had short hair. It was a black girl, and she was just squatting and putting her hand under, and I would see, poop in her hand, and she was just rubbing it all over the window, right? And the guard was like,
"Oh, so you saw girls and guys in there?"
Yeah, but I could see them like in another tank.
Yeah.
To my right, it's like at a weird angle where I could see it perfectly, and I was like, to everyone else, I was like, y'all see this right now? And the guard was like, I thought we didn't have peanut butter today, and I was like, dude, I don't think that's peanut butter, bro.
Oh my god.
The cop looked so disappointed in life. It was funny. Like he was just like, right. And so like they bring the SWAT team in there, and like I'm watching all that. Well, SWAT, where they like rush you. And, like she was throwing it everywhere, man. Like they must like it was. I'll never forget. I told my mom that story, and she was dying. Like it was crazy.
Who they get to clean that up, man?
Oh, I remember because I was there for another day. It was like it was inmates. It was like trustees, and they was pissed.
Inmates always got to do the dirty work, dog.
Yeah, later I did that. I didn't clean that. I used to run like garbage from I used to just be a trustee at one point when I was fighting that case, and that's when it was like a lot of drugs in that jail. So like I was allowed on the elevator, you know what I mean? So I was lightweight, man, being a trustee, that's what you got to do if you want to like really wiggle, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, for sure, always. Always, you get around. Like I was
I get
nighttime floor
around,
crew
bro.
at one point.
And the police be sometimes just letting information go. You know what I
Oh
mean? Like
yeah,
I won't give them nothing, but they just talking. And I'm like, okay, and
yeah,
just like remembering that shit. Like
yeah.
there was some good cop, bad cop. You know what I mean? Frisco was bad. Santa Rita was bad with officers. They're a lot more physical than San Mateo is, because San Mateo is like really nice county. They only have certain areas that are bad. Frisco is like they're falling apart jails, like, and
Let me ask you
that
this,
just
man.
yeah.
Let me ask you this. Uh, let's say, have you seen any of the different races fight?
Yeah, I
Okay,
seen a
now
lot
check it
more.
out. Check it out. I know it probably has to be sanctioned by whoever's running it, each car or
Hmm.
whatever. Have you ever seen one say, okay, yeah, these dudes are gonna fight one on one? You know what I mean?
All the time, all the time.
Oh, so they
Unless
so there will be
look,
two leaders that will OGs or whatever that will
yeah,
sanction these fights.
they'll talk for like 5 seconds sometimes, but like that only is if it's not on spot. Like if he calls you a bitch or a lame, you take off immediately. Or if you're attacked, you take off immediately. I mean, there's exceptions to the rule, right? If you don't, it just they're like, oh, okay, and there's other races watching you. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen it sanctions like all. I've Okay. Let me tell you this one little funny story that kind of has to do with that, right? I had just gotten back. This was just in December. I had just gotten back to county, and I knew everybody there. Like the minute I stood there, I had like $100 in food. I was good, and there's these two white boys that are just like dope feeny white boys, and I guess one of them stole a tray in front of someone's door, right? That's an issue with us, because I was at the old jail, which was max security at the time. I had just gotten to max, like, and then you go down to the other jail, and I was already like being like, who did it? You know what I mean? Like, this is out, because if it's a white boy, then we gotta clean house. Like I was telling OGs that, like, I ain't with all that jailhouse. If he's a jailhouse thief, is bad, like the worst of the jailhouse snitch, jailhouse thief, the kind of thin line that divides those two kinds of people.
Yeah.
And so we find out it was the big oos. I mean, this dude was a tank, like big, right? It was his cell with the extra tray, right? And
White dude?
it took us a couple days to figure out who it, but it was some Pisces saw it, that I guess they were their word was trusted. They're not the kind of people, this guy, to just say some random stuff to get people blurbs. You know what I mean?
So the extra tray was a
So
white dude who took it?
yeah, right.
Big dude.
So the shot caller was like, all right, we're gonna take care of this. I was like, I'll take care of this, right? The last 5 minutes of the hour we got, that's when we take care of our business, because you don't want to wreck you don't want to ruin rec for everyone. That sucks, because no one wants to be on lockdown. So I run up in the cell. I'm like this close to him, and I'm like, you take that tray. Hell, I was up in his face. Like, I didn't cuss at him. I didn't like call him any names or nothing. I was like, bro, if I find out you took that tray, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. Right? Sorry for the language, but I walk out, and the head dude was like, what happened? Like, why didn't you hit him? I was like, I told you at least to like slap him, right? I was like, he told me he didn't take the tray. And then that's when I talked to the man. This happened within just a few minutes. It was kind of crazy. And I'm like, I get really mad, because this man just lied to my face, right? And at the same time, these two more cops come in, and I'm like, like, now we gotta wait out. That's what everyone was saying. The shot caller was like, all right, we'll just wait. I was like, nah, F that. I'm going in, right? So I just storm into, and I kind of close it a little bit. He's watching, whatever, and I just go, da, 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 da. This was just in December. I took flight on that kid, man. and his celly was all in the fetal position, the whole thing. And the minute I just turned red, you know what I mean? Because I was like, whenever I try to think of something I don't like, and all I hear is, he had enough. So I stopped, put my slippers back on, and I walked to my cell. And the minute I closed my door, it says time. So we got away with it perfect. You know what I mean? And then they talked. They said, that's it. You good, but no more of that. You know what I mean? Like, we don't play. This is a Mac. There's people in here that got bodies. You know what I mean? This is like where it's at. You know what I mean? This is like if you were politicking. We are outnumbered by Northerners 1 to 4 probably. Like there's a lot of them, right?
Gotta keep what you got.
Yeah, so we didn't want to get rid of them, but I don't really know what happened after that. I left a few days later, but all was good. No one got in trouble. Someone learned the lesson. You know what I mean? That's politics taking care of itself. Because what are you gonna do? Put the kid in the hole for stealing a tray or something? Like, nah, we handle most of the stuff. Like, COs are the ones that really be pushing the issue with us.
I hate to stop you, man. Let's save that one for a whole nother episode, man. Let's save that one for another episode, because I got a lot of other questions I want to ask you, man. I know this jank's running long.
It's nice to talk to someone that actually like knows what I'm talking about, because you know what I mean, like, it's jail, like,
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested just as much as the next person, man. And you never know. I could go to Cali to do a little meet and greet one day, end up behind bars. I'd like to be ready my damn self. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for real, I do want to keep you coming on the show, man. You got a lot of information, and also talk a little bit about the street life as well. But damn, this was a good episode. I was enjoyed. I was in tune, man. I hate to cut it short, but
it's all good.
I try to keep them down to at least a good 40-minute video. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Hey, man. Hey, it was a pleasure, man. And if you're good with it, man, I gotta have you up on here again. I hate to, man. You know what kind of technical difficulties we had in the beginning of this.
Oh my god, bro, that was crazy. They didn't want me to talk.
Yeah, Skype was having some serious issues for everyone out there who's watching this. So now I'm using this thing called Zoom. This is the first time I've ever used Zoom. I kind of like it. I like how it's set up. It's a little more professional, but we had some serious technical difficulties, and it's actually getting a little late, and I want to get this video on here tonight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got any shout-outs before we go?
Yeah, I want to shout out to my brother June, who's in San Mateo, Luis, facing that homicide, man. You know what I mean? Beat your case, man. I love you guys. I've known y'all for years. You know what I mean? Luis, I've known you since middle school, man. Hassan, free Hassan, man. These are all guys that are being overcharged, man. Free them guys, man. They're good people.
All right, brother. Look, I appreciate it. That's what's up, man. I appreciate you coming on the show once again. Stay connected with me, man, because I want to have you back on here again.
Yeah, I got you.
All right, bro. You be easy out there. Be safe, all right?
Yeah, you too, man.
All right, dog.
Off.